Okay, let's dive in. We've got some pretty interesting material here today.
Yeah, what are we looking at?
It's called AC #1, The Power of Your Breath, Young Leaders version.
Ah, okay. ACES, session 1 then.
Looks like it, yeah. Seems to be the very first part of a program, maybe, by something called Master Force.
Thanks to Force, okay. And it's aimed specifically at young leaders.
That's what it says. Yeah, those sort of just starting out on their leadership path, I guess.
And starting with breath, that's a choice, isn't it?
It is. That's kind of the whole point, I think. Why start there?
Right. It's fascinating right off the bat that this program, ACES and Master Force, they clearly see breath as, like, fundamental for young leaders.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dedicating the whole first session to it. It really makes you stop and think, okay, what's the connection they're making?
Yeah, why breath? Why session 1?
Exactly. So our mission, for this deep dive is basically to figure out why. Why does this source material, this first session, put so much weight on breathing? Something we literally do constantly without thinking.
And framing it as a power, the power of your breath.
Right. Not just breathing, but a power. Especially for leaders or aspiring leaders.
It suggests there's something more to it than just, biology, something you can harness.
And the source itself, it seems quite visual. It mentions slides.
That suggests sort of structured, maybe step-by-step way of thinking about it, like they're guiding you through the concept.
Yeah, guiding you to unlock this potential in your own breath.
It raises that interesting question, doesn't it? Like, in the day-to-day of leadership, which can be super high pressure, what's the actual advantage here?
What does focusing on your breath do for a young leader specifically?
Is it about staying calm, managing stress, sharpening focus, maybe something else entirely?
Well, just looking at this initial session outline, the main message seems to be just establishing the idea itself, that breath is a power, full stop.
Like, step 1 is just recognizing it.
Yeah, almost like saying, hold on, before we talk strategy or teams or vision, let's get this fundamental tool sorted, the one you already have.
Okay, so it's about creating a new perspective, maybe, on something totally automatic.
Exactly. So, for you listening, it's worth asking yourself, could my breath be some kind of untapped resource? Especially thinking about leadership moments.
And it's also pretty clear that this isn't just about, breathing in and out passively.
No, definitely not.
By calling it a power, Master Force is implying you need to consciously engage with it, right?
That makes me think about those really tense moments. A tough conversation, presenting something crucial.
Right. Could taking a moment for intentional breathing actually change how you handle that? Ground yourself somehow.
Respond more effectively, maybe, instead of just reacting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost hinting that mastering your breath is like a first step to mastering yourself in those leadership situations.
A gateway skill?
Could be. And it looks like they're not just lecturing about it either. They want you to actually do stuff.
Oh, like what?
Well, the material apparently mentions a pop quiz.
Okay. Checking understanding. Makes sense.
Yeah, and it encourages you to write your results in your journal and debrief.
Ah, so it's interactive. That's key, isn't it?
Definitely.
It pushes it beyond just, like, listening or reading. It becomes a personal exploration. How does this breathing power actually apply to me?
Right, that journaling and debriefing part, it suggests they really want you to think it through, internalize it, make it your own.
Which is crucial if you actually want someone to, use a new concept, especially something as fundamental as this.
And then it seems to wrap up very clearly. There's a slide that says, this is the end of session #1.
Okay, so it's definitively marked.
Yeah, and it even asks learners to email a short paragraph about what they learned to Shemsu@gmail.com.
Really? Direct feedback like that?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Which suggests maybe a pretty interactive, possibly even personalized learning path within this whole ACES program.
That direct interaction, asking for a summary of what you learned, it also says something about how much they value actually understanding and applying it.
Yeah, it's not just passive consumption.
It's about processing it, articulating it for yourself, which helps cement the learning,
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, I think, for you listening. Consider this. The entire first session of what looks like a dedicated leadership program for young people is about breath.
Just breath.
What does that signal about where this program might be heading? How important do they consider this power to be for everything else that follows?
That's the big question, isn't it? If this is the foundation, what are they planning to build on top of it?
What specific leadership skills or techniques might they connect back to? breathing.
It forces you to reevaluate something incredibly basic and ask why it's being positioned as so critical for leadership development.
Maybe it connects to self-awareness, emotional regulation, resilience, maybe.
Could be any or all of those. If you think bigger picture, it suggests that maybe effective leadership starts really internally, with understanding and maybe controlling your own state.
Starting with the most fundamental process, breathing.
Yeah. So the question back to you is, what parts of your own leadership, or even just your daily life, could potentially be enhanced if you had a more conscious relationship with your breath?
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
What could change if you started treating breath not just as automatic, but as a tool,
Yeah.
as a power?